So anyway, I want to talk to you very briefly about shifting your focus. You're always shifting your focus to the story you want to be true, to the reality you want to live, to the ideas, the belief systems, the feelings that you desire. That is how you mold the clay that becomes the beautiful sculpture of your life, right? So, I have had a wonderful opportunity to practice this myself in the past few days. Look at my desk. It looks a little bit messy. However, this is a big improvement. It's actually it's coming together in a beautifully organized way, and I am preparing my 2019 taxes way ahead of time. Yay, me. I'm feeling, well, way ahead of time for me. So I'm feeling really good about that. And it looks a little bit like, woo, only because I have to stop in the middle of this project to go try out my next, this workout thing. I don't even know what it is. It's 21 days and I will be reporting about it, I'm quite certain. And I'm able to shift my focus all the time. I've been pulled into an interesting energy in the past few days about this coronavirus. I call it the beer flu. And, there's all kinds of things running around all over the internet. And even for somebody like me who avoids the news because I don't like to be exposed to basically fear-mongering type of news. And I'm like, oh, this coronavirus information is getting through my news filter, through like notes from school and local email things I get about local things happening in the world, in my local area. And then, of course, like people in my life actually talking about it. And normally when there's anything like illness related, I'm like, I'm not available for that conversation. That doesn't affect me. You're talking to the wrong girl. I'm not going to reinforce or affirm that, there are things to be worried about and scared about, because that's how you mold the clay. That's what what you put your focus, your attention on is what you put your attention on, and where your focus goes, energy flows. So I am always putting my focus and my energy on health, wellness, happiness, abundance, love, joy, expansion, freedom, and calling in the next level deliberate manifestation. Of course, we are always manifesting. We all, our mere lives, the physical reality of our lives is our manifestation. So we're always manifesting, but what I teach people is how to manifest deliberately what they desire. And that requires constant shifting and noticing and observing where your focus is, where your thoughts are, and shifting to where you want it to be. So if you are in a big transition space in your life, you're transforming, you're, emerging from the caterpillar and you're in the cocoon and you're becoming the beautiful butterfly and you're spreading your wings to fly, that requires some kind of impetus to change, and sometimes that is forced upon us, and sometimes it's like through a job loss, a relationship shift, an illness, or just some type of life change that maybe you did or didn't expect, that was either out of your control or not out of your control. So if you are in a big transformation phase in your life and you are anywhere in this journey, whether you're in the beginning of it, you're excited, you're like, yes, bring it on, I'm ready, or you're in the dark hallway and you're alone and scared, and it's like, oh my God, this is too much, I can't take it, or you are somewhere in between there and where you no longer were, what is no longer and what is yet to be. But you feel glimpses of, yes, I get this. I know how to do this. I can manifest. I do have this incredible power to tap into the infinite intelligence of the universe. And let my spirit guide me through my intuition, through the signals that I send and receive from the universal infinite intelligence. Wherever you are, you will always be creating that next level. You're always molding the clay, and you do it by what you focus on. So as you get really skilled and you start doing this more and more as a matter of how you live, you will notice that life isn't perfect. It's not like, oh, okay, now that I know how to do this, life is perfect. It's not like that. It's really more like, it can be less scary. It can be, you can feel more empowered. So you realize that anything that throws you off your track is something that you have called in, and you get to take more responsibility for it. And instead of being angry and resentful toward other people, I think that that is one of the most empowering things about, and shifts about, taking your life into your own heart, and no longer living in the state of victimhood, but living in a state of faith and empowerment. That's one of the greatest takeaways, is that you really lose the need to ever be angry with other people, because you realize everyone's on their own journey, and they have their story and I have my story, and we all walk our own path. And if we've crossed paths with somebody whose energy pulls us down, or makes us angry, or has us feeling like, wait, what's going on here, it's just another opportunity to say, oh, I called this in. What an interesting life choice. So we always get to take that opportunity to look at our own behavior, look at our thoughts, and say, how did I create this? What was I calling in when I called in this experience? So you're always having that opportunity to choose where you focus your attention. And where you focus your attention is where the energy that you create more of. So I'm bringing this up, well, because it comes up all the time in conversations, and I'm always asking clients, like, is that really true for you? Is that what you want to be true? When they say things like, this is how the world is, or, women my age, or blah, blah, blah. Whatever that tried and true statement is that so many people are culturally conditioned to believe and just reiterate because they've heard it so many times. Money doesn't grow on trees, la, 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 there's no good men. All those ridiculous things that really are just not true. Actually, money's made out of paper, and paper comes from trees. So if you want to make a really good argument, there you go. It does grow on trees. You're welcome. But yeah, this coronavirus, beer flu, is interesting because I have noticed, like, it's on. I am putting my attention on it. I was talking to my son earlier today, and I'm like, because I always run things by him, because he's a great fact checker. He'll be like, oh, Mom, that's complete BS, don't believe that, or blah, blah, blah. And we have some great healthy debates and conversations about the world, because we both come from very different ideas about certain things, and some things we agree vehemently about. So I was just running it by him, like, hey, what do you think? And he's like, I'm not available for it. And I was telling him stories that I had heard recently, like, oh, I heard this, and I heard this, and I heard this. And I told him, and we were both laughing. I'm like, oh my God, I cannot believe that I am doing the exact thing that I tell people not to do. I'm putting my attention on this thing because I'm curious about it. And I'm like, typically if somebody's talking about illness, I'm just like, I will walk out the room. I'm not interested, not available. But I was laughing, and he was laughing too. I'm like, I can't even believe I'm having this conversation. Like, I don't know why. But one reason why, I'll tell you, travel, because travel, it seems to be related, spreading because of people traveling and stuff. And so travel, like, costs are deeply discounted. And so I did put out on Facebook, I'm like, hey, I'm curious. I'm truly curious. Are you the type of person who's like, yeah, I can fly to Hawaii for under $50. I'm doing this. Or are you the type of person who's like, I'm canceling my plans to travel. I'm not traveling anywhere. And that those people are the reason people can fly to Hawaii or wherever they want for very low prices. And I'm just really genuinely curious, what drives you in this the current conditions we're living under, with the news and all this stuff and stories and missed stories and just rumors, all that stuff. But I had to shift my focus. I did have that little laugh, and it's fine. It's like, oh, this is a curious life choice. It's curious. I am talking about it, thinking about it, asking people about it, telling stories about it. Just a curious life choice. And now I'm going to continue to practice focusing and shifting my attention to everything I desire and require and love and want more to come up. I want to create more of. So everything from this moment forward, not from the moment past, not from things that have already happened to you, everything from this moment forward and this moment forward and this moment forward is your opportunity to mold the clay. What is it that you desire? A lot of people ask me, like, what do you journal about? And sometimes I will specifically journal on a question, like a journal prompt, like, is there any reason I wouldn't want this certain thing to work out? Something I'm trying to call into my life. I'm calling it in, but maybe there feels like there's a block. I will ask myself, is there any reason why I wouldn't want this to work out, or that I'm afraid if this did happen, what would that look like? That I have to let come up to the surface. And so that's one thing I do. Or other journal prompts are, I like to pick up Sean. No, that's tomorrow. I like to ask myself, okay, this day next year, what is my day like? That's another really fun one. Or I will write out symbolic scenes of like, say there's a situation, like I'm creating retreats all the time, right? Text me here as you're walking up. Okay. That's my orientation person who just texted me, said, let me know when you get here. So I have about 2:30. I have about 5 more minutes before I have to leave. And I'm going to get on my bike and ride to this place. I can't wait to tell you about it. Anyway, back to the story. So people are asking, what do you journal about? What do you journal about? How does journaling really help you call in your next level life? So one thing is, I just went over. Another thing, I will write letters from my future self. I will write letters from people that I would like to receive letters from. I write letters from client testimonials all the time that I make up. Like if I'm creating a project or a course, or I'm creating, like my retreat right now, I love to write letters from the testimonial letters from the women who've been there, and I create this from the future. So I'm getting into the heart and mind of who is that woman? What is she dreaming of? What are her challenges? What are her obstacles to saying, yes, I really want to do this? And I write a letter showing how she's kind of worked her way through to that point of like resistance. No, I want to do this, but I can't afford it. I can't take the time away. My husband might get mad. To that place where she's been to the retreat, her life is never going to be the same. She's completely up-leveled in so many ways. She's connected with the other women. She's bonded with the other women. She's taking home like massive, helpful, like, first of all, ways of thinking. She's learned strategies. She's had some kind of healing, expansive experience. Her body has relaxed. She's had the time to relax her body and immerse herself in absolute luxury and nature and loving vibes, and she's bonded with people who are her people. One of the things I'm always stressing for people is, how do you surround yourself with people who are on the way up to where you want to go? How do you surround yourself with people who are living at that place and that level and in that energy frequency that you would like to live in? How do you create that for yourself? Well, certainly, if you hang around the same type of people who speak in ways that kind of drag your energy and drain you and bring you down and reiterate how life is horrible and the world isn't working and blah, 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 then you're going to continue to reiterate that, right? And you're going to continue to live that. I have massively changed my life so much, so incredibly significantly, by just changing the way that the people I hang around, whether that's online, whether that's in person, whether that's in my family. I leave my house, I go create experiences for myself. I go on retreats. I'm going to this training thing this appointment I have in a half an hour, to surround myself with people who are doing and living the way that I want to do and live. So like, that is such a big, powerful thing to help you get to the next level. And you may not know why you're saying yes to a thing, but you know that you are, for some reason, your next level is calling you. So I was talking about journaling, wasn't I? So things I will ask myself in my journal are, other things I will ask in addition to what I just went over is, like I wrote a letter from my ex-husband. I write letters from my kids that I would love to read from them. Like, oh my God, Mom, you're not going to believe it. I'm just getting set up here in Berkeley. I'm loving living here. I can't believe I was living here when I was 3 years old. And now I'm going to school here. And oh my gosh, you wouldn't believe it. I found the best pizza place. Oh yeah, you would believe it, because this is where we used to go. I mean, I just make things up and let it flow through me. And that's how I tune into my intuition, my own intuitive guidance, that helps me like kind of call in more of what I want that I may not be consciously aware of, but my subconscious is aware of it. And that's my next level self calling me in. And I'm creating stronger energetic cords with that future self. And I'm telling you, this stuff is really, really powerful. So another thing that I do in my journaling, like every single day, is I write how it is. I write it in the present tense. I have the best body I've ever had. I'm aging in reverse. My income continues to increase. I have no bills. I always pay my debts fully, each and every month in full, easily. I love my house, blah, blah, blah. And I say how it is in the present moment as I'm calling it in. I may not be physically living it in the moment, however, energetically I am, and that's how. And I just free write whatever comes through me that I desire to be true for me. And that is another way. I'm doing it with energized emotion, like I'm highly charged, positive emotion. I'm falling in love with it. I'm super duper vibing with it, right? And I do it repetitively over and over and over again. So I'm creating a brand new energy frequency within my own self. I'm creating new neural pathways. I'm, firing together and wiring together belief systems. I'm reprogramming my brain through this work. So it's super duper powerful. It's fun. It will lift your vibration, and it creates brand new belief systems for you, so that you are always creating exactly what you desire. And if you believe it, that's when you see it. So very, very powerful work here. I'm going to be doing I think a 3-part video series that I will be doing for free. And that should be coming up soon in the next maybe week or so. So if you want to learn more of this, message me, or when the sign up comes through, sign up for it, and we will have a really, really good time. It'll just be a little tiny journaling mini course for you. For those of you who haven't done journaling, you've heard about it, you're not really sure about it, but you're kind of like, how does this change my life? So I am really super excited to just be sharing this stuff with you. This is the thing that lights me up, and I want to do it every single day of my life because it raises my vibration. Right now, I have to go to my training meeting. It's an orientation to see what the next 21 days is, and I'm sure you'll be hearing from me a lot more about it because that's what I do. I share the amazing experiences that I'm having, and I'm assuming this is going to be amazing. So thank you so much, you guys. Have a fabulous afternoon, and let me know what is lighting you up. What is lighting you up? And if you want a journal prompt for right now to go to your journal tonight or right now, you can ask yourself, what is my life like? What am I doing on March 6th of the year 2021? Next year, 1 year from now. What is different in your life? And write it as if. So you can write a letter from your future self. Dear Gina, oh my gosh, this is how I always start my letters from my future self. Dear Gina, oh my gosh, I can hardly believe this. This is amazing. How did we get here? And I will write about whatever it is. Like maybe I'll be boarding a plane for my retreat that I'm leading in Italy or Thailand or wherever I'll be leading a retreat in a year from now. I don't know yet. Because it comes through when it comes through. So I am leading a retreat in Dillon Beach, which is just north of San Francisco, on May 4th through the 7th. And it is going to be a full-on luxury, nature, pampering experience on the coast, like literally on the cliffs of the Pacific Ocean, in this gorgeous home. And we are going to go have a private wine tasting / picnic on my family's vineyard, I guess. Yes, this is with my uncle, who is the proprietor of this amazing place, and his wife. And then, of course, we're going to Osmosis Day Spa, which if you look that place up, you will find out that it is probably the most heavenly place on earth, in the United States at least. And then we are going to be doing all kinds of really fun things, which you can learn about if you look at the link here that I will put in the comments. Bye. Take a look. Hey, message me if you're interested and you want to know more about it, because you can. We've got payment plans. We've got private accommodations if you want to have your own little space and sleep and meditate and journal and do what you want, or shared accommodations if you want to have like more of a slumber party vibe. But no matter what you choose, it is literally going to be a massive up level for you, because you're going to be surrounded by other people who are living and doing the same type of work, and they are on the way up just like you. Thank you. Bye.